Hey everyone, Mrs. D here with a weekly update. I tried to do this video last week and I wasn't able to get to it. I just finished recording 13 minutes and my microphone was on mute. And my kids are home today, so you might hear somebody bust through the door, which did happen in the last one, even though it was muted. Or you might hear them outside the window because they like to hang out in the front yard now that I've kicked them all out of the backyard because they broke our trampoline. But, anyways, let's talk about updates. Personally, doing a lot better. Things are looking up a little bit, or I have a better attitude. I don't know. But I'm annoyed with Facebook. Facebook has been like a bane of my existence lately. So either I'm scrolling through and trying to advertise classes or just wasting time reading lots of stuff or even getting into it with people on Facebook, which I don't normally do. So I wish I didn't need it for the business. But, anyways, other than that, everything's going good. Baby's growing. I'm having a lot of hard time breathing. That's why in the Nearpod video you saw me sitting back. I don't normally like to do that, but I have already, as you can tell, a lot of more difficulty breathing when I'm sitting up and pushing more pressure on this belly. So, anyways, in this video, we're going to talk about Qkids and the situation with China and the ESL platforms and going independent. We're going to talk about italki. We're going to talk about Allschool, and we're going to talk about Outschool. Okay, so first up is Qkids. Qkids is a hot topic right now because Qkids is still going. Weekends and holidays and just as if nothing had happened. And shortly after VIP Kids made their first announcement, Qkids made their announcement that they will be affected by the new laws that China has passed. So we're all kind of wondering, well, when is that going to start? Because we haven't seen or heard anything since that update. Now, rumors are flying around everywhere. So I do suggest that you be very, very careful with what you believe or what you take as truth and what isn't. All I can really say is what we know. We know that VIP Kids will stop scheduling foreign teachers, American teachers, November 5th. We know that. We know that several other platforms have shut down or already restricted their hours. We know that China did indeed pass laws that are going to affect online ESL teaching and tutoring. Qkids said that they would be affected by these laws. And we also know that the head of marketing of Qkids in China has left Qkids. I don't know if voluntarily. I know nothing about that other than they have left. So those are the things that we do know. Anything really past that is speculation. But I do have to say that we must be prepared for something to happen with Qkids. Qkids already said they're going to be affected. Now, a lot of people have hope in the North American Qkids Academy, the Turkish program that Qkids have, and the idea of going international. Personally, and I love Qkids, I am a big fan of Qkids, hours and hours of videos on this very channel about and dedicated towards Qkids and helping Qkids teachers. But my personal opinion about sustaining all of the teachers that Qkids has in any other programs is not optimistic. It's just not optimistic. There are not enough classes and enough exposure for Qkids internationally or in any of the other programs to sustain all of the teachers that it currently has teaching the 1v4 classes. I'm not saying that Qkids is shutting down. I'm not saying that, Qkids is going to disappear. it's very likely that Qkids is going to continue offering lessons for Chinese students with Chinese teachers because I believe that's going to be allowed. And it's also very likely that they're still going to try to grow internationally and in the North American program, but it's not going to support all of the teachers that it has now. That's my point. Um, Also, the fact that Qkids is trying to grow internationally, we have to look at the fact that it's trying to grow internationally with VIP Kids, Outschool, now Allschool, italki. These are already, and italki and Outschool are already established platforms long before any of this started happening. And I do know that Qkids has been trying to go international for at least a year, more than a year, and has not been super successful with that. So I just want to give a realistic heads up that our beloved Qkids is likely not going to sustain us for a long time. So what have I done? I opened italki hours pretty close to after that announcement came out from Qkids saying that things were going to be affected. I can do more classes. I can do the same amount of classes in less time and get paid more for italki. I just worked for Qkids because I loved Qkids. So when I opened them up and they all got booked, I resigned from Qkids last week. Yes, it was sad and it was hard, but what were the reasons for doing that? Qkids at this point is unstable. It's not a long term. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I don't know when they're going to not be able to give us classes anymore. Whereas the other options are not in that kind of danger. And so for my financial stability, I had to really consider that, as difficult of a decision as it is. Now, Qkids doesn't owe us anything. They don't need to explain. They can end our contracts at any time. All of that, stuff where we're family but we're not family, right? Well, it goes both ways. So keep that in mind. As much as we love Qkids, we also have to consider what is best for us in our situations and in our long-term financial goals, okay? So that was what my decision was. I can't tell you what your decision is. I can only tell you what I did and what we did know and why I did that. So that's enough about that. italki is going well. Because I opened the Qkids hours, I am now making $2,000 a month, definitely hitting $2,000 a month and a little bit higher. I have new students contacting me all the time. Unfortunately, I am turning them away right now because I'm looking at maternity leave and my schedule is pretty well full with the regular students. I'm doing one private student from China. She had contacted me on italki prior to moving back to China, and when they moved back to China, they weren't able to access italki the same way, which is interesting because I have other students who have, but for whatever reason, they wanted to go private, and I agreed to that, and I don't like it, to be honest with you. I have tried to go independent from platforms before, and I've never been a big fan of that because, number one, the platforms market you. So that's helpful to have, and I would rather pay a platform a little bit of a percentage of the pay that I'm asking for to kind of do that for me, to give me that exposure. And also because it makes payments easier. I did try to go independent with a couple of students, and they weren't able to afford it because of exchange rates. They weren't able to figure out how to pay me. They were offering ridiculously low prices. So it's a lot easier for me to put something up on a platform, say this is my fee, you can pay it or not, and then I pay that platform a little bit of money so that I can do that, and that's worth it to me. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, however, everything is saturated right now. I want to make that perfectly clear. You may hear that it's not, and that's not true. It's not true because all these teachers who have been teaching for VIP Kid, Magic Years, Zebra English, Qkids, they're all now looking for another option. And so they're going to the places where the options are. Cambly, italki, Outschool, Allschool, everything is going to be saturated. So if you're trying to get started, please be aware that it's going to be hard. I'm not going to sit here and say there's plenty of students out there for everyone. There's a lot of competition on this field right now. And another problem is that we have some people who are able to work for less and charge less for their classes, and we're competing with them now. We're competing with people who are in a little bit dire of a situation, might need to be, have their rates low so that they make that money and they're able to live off of that. And so that also is hurting because our wages are being driven down as well. So it's hard. It's a cutthroat place to be right now. I'm really grateful that I already started a long time ago with this process. But don't just, quit, because what I see happening within the next year, the survival of the fittest is going to take place. And those who are able to make it are going to make it. And those who are not great teachers and unable to get their act together are not going to make it and are going to have to seek things elsewhere. And the market will stabilize again. So keep that in mind too. I'm not discouraging anybody from getting started. I'm just being realistic about how it's going to go. All right. So hired on Allschool got the fast pass as an Outschool teacher. I'm excited to see what they have to offer. I'm not super optimistic because, again, it's a startup company in a very competitive atmosphere. We will see. I believe they are opening up to students, I think November, like the middle of November. I'm not exactly sure. They are creating a profile for me on Allschool. And teacher applications are currently closed until what I heard was November 8th. So can't apply for Allschool right now, but I will try to keep you updated as far as how that goes. Another little issue that we're having as far as Allschool is concerned is that there were promises of hiring teachers at 15% for the founding teachers, which they are planning to honor, but we received an email that said that they were honoring that until June 2022. And so we're all kind of like, well, what does that mean? Because the way that it was presented before was that it was a permanent 15% rate, and now it's looking like they want to change that. So I think, some of the teachers are standing up for the fact that, we thought we were going to be hired at a 15% rate. Italki takes 15%. Italki does only private lessons. Therefore, I believe that 15% founding teacher permanent rate is sustainable for Allschool. So hopefully they will honor that and see it from the teacher point of view that there was never an end date given to that. And as long as they keep their rate under 30% for any more hiring, I think that they will do quite well and compete well with Outschool. But again, this is all future and that's speculation. We'll see what happens there. Let's move on to the Outschool update for October. I closed at a whopping $17.60 more than September. So that's positive because I taught more, had less students, 30 students in September, 28 in October, and less hours, 20 hours in September, 18 in October. So interesting stats. They're not like so far off. I'd like to be a lot higher, obviously, closing in there because I'm still not anywhere near my goal. But I did have those 2 weeks of like one enrollment per week, which is strange because I usually have like one enrollment per day. But the last week has picked up and I have pretty much had one enrollment per day. What did I do that was different? I put a whole bunch of different classes on there. I know I had said that I was going to niche down into escape rooms, but that didn't really work. They weren't getting booked enough, and they still aren't getting booked enough. Other classes are getting booked, and ongoing classes are getting booked. And if a parent requests a class and I see that, I try to seize that opportunity to make the class if I'm able to, if it's something that I can do, because that's like enrollments automatically. I did that with this Diary of a Wimpy Kid type journaling class that I'm going to do. There were 3 students on a Facebook group that said that they would be interested in that. I created it and 2 of them enrolled. So that's good statistics, and I'm hoping that that will grow from here. So this video is long enough. I need to breathe. So that's it. Like, subscribe, hit your notification button, drop me a message, put a comment down below. Love having you guys. Hope something in here was useful for someone, and I will see you next time.